Hey, what's going on here? Steve and Vinny, the Toy Master, and today we're going to be going into the computer and sharing 10 items, 10 toy items specifically that sold for over $100 on eBay. What are your thoughts about finding an item from a thrift store or garage sale that sells for over $100 in your eBay store? Gets you going?
Yeah, I mean, it does get you excited, especially if you're paying $199, $299 for it.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to put out there in the beginning of this video that some of these items are going to be a little more challenging to come across. You know, we were talking behind the scenes. Some of these things you may never find. Some of these things you might find 2 years down the road. Sometimes we do these videos and the person finds like a super rare item in like 2 days and we're like, this is crazy. So
yeah, someone's going to find something after watching it. It's guaranteed because it's not that rare.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into our computer right now and we're going to put something on the screen and we're going to share with you these 10 items that sold over $100 on eBay. And again, remember, you know, it takes time, it takes practice. You got to go out there and take your shot. And if you want to learn more about selling toys, we're going to put some links down below to some 25% off discount codes. We have over 4 toy guides that Vinny and I have created. So if you want to take your toy business to the next level, then check them out. So let's get started right now. What do we have on the screen, Vinny?
Here's a Dino Riders Monoclonius 100% Tyco action figure. So it's a line of toys, Dino Rider, and I think it's complete is why it's going for so much money. And it was a TV show that I actually watched when I was a kid back in the early 90s. And these toys were made in the late 80s, 1987 by Tyco. And they're basically like dinosaur action figures with accessories, weapons, and then like these little alien people.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, this is a Dino Rider. I brought one from home.
Very nice.
There's one on the screen right there too. But yeah, these things are good, especially if they're complete. This is why it costs so much. I know there's a big Brontosaurus that you have complete can go over for well over 200 for it. So
awesome. Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Next up, we have something that looks actually maybe something out of like a haunted, creepy house or something. This thing looks possessed right here. This sold for, if you ever see a streak going through the line, that means there was a best offer accepted on this, but they were probably got somewhere around $100 or so. Wow, $57 shipping. What do we have right here, Vinny?
That is a large Stife lion, and Stife was a plush toy company back in from the 20s to the 50s, I believe. I don't know. They're very old. And if you do find most of these animals will go for at least $50 to $100. Like, I've rarely seen or picked up one that was less than $30, $40.
Look at the tag on there still.
Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, they're just old plush toys made by Stife. I think it's Steiff.
That's animal abuse. I don't like how they have that laying there.
Yeah, so if you ever see anything like that, pick them up. They'll look a little bit different than actual plush toys from nowadays. They'll be a little bit more rough, I'd say, if you want to put it that way. So could be one way of identifying if they don't have a tag or anything. But yeah, those are really good. I've picked up a couple of them in my days.
And it says the line does not have the ear button, but does have the original hang tag with a little part ripped off and a crease in it. The tail does have a notch in the middle. Not sure if it's supposed to be that way.
That is a great description. Now,
Yeah.
if anybody wants to know how to give a great description for an item, like that was a perfect example of a great description. You're telling me everything I need to know about the condition of the item and showing me the pictures. This, to me, is a great listing.
Very nice. Moving on to the third item out of 10 that sold for over $100. We have a G.I. Joe Grand Slam and Hal Heavy Artillery Laser Cannon. 100% complete.
Yeah, if you find any 80s G.I. Joes that are complete with their accessories, then you're looking at some good money. Very collectible toy. There's a huge following to them.
Look at that. Even the helmet has like the little...
Has the visor, yep.
Yeah. I mean, right there, the visor alone, I would just make a wild guess.
$10.
Probably 10, because what happens if you have this and you don't have the visor? Well, I need the visor.
You pay $10 to get the 100 value,
Make Kona
right?
Toys R Us. I mean, it doesn't even exist anymore, really, but...
Yeah, so look out for G.I. Joes from the 80s, the early 80s to, I would say, 87.
And how do you identify it? Are you looking on it? Is there a date that's going to be actually present on the item?
Usually will say Hasbro, 1983, 1984, 1985, like in the 80s range. And then They have articulated joints that are kind of loose, so you'll be able to feel them, and they're like a light plasticky feel. I would just look at the backs because pretty much all of them have Hasbro and the year written on the right above the butt.
Yeah. It says good stiff joints, no cracks on elbows, no rust on screws. These are important.
Yeah.
Like you shared. So definitely be on the lookout for the G.I. Joes. Next up, I had to share it when we were going through the sold listings because, you know, Vinny's a huge Lego fanatic. I've got some Legos over there getting ready for an Amazon shipment. But this caught my eye. This looks older, but is it or is it newer?
Yeah, that's old. It's retired. I would think it's been retired for 5, 6, 7 years now. I'm not 100% sure.
What did it sell for? Over 400?
Yeah.
What do you think that cost in the store?
That was probably anywhere from $80 to $100. I can actually check on my phone if we want to guarantee it, but I'm guessing anywhere from $80 to $100.
Wow. And you can look up the model number on it. This is 71006. And what's the website that you use?
I use Brick Economy to kind of see values of Lego sets. You just type in the set number and it'll break it down for you.
And talk to people about these little pieces of tape.
That's the official Lego factory seal. So it will have a black line through it, and it will have numbers on it, and that's how you know it's not retaped by someone else. Like, you have to look for that black.
Yeah.
I think it's LRs 21.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Legos get me excited. If you come across Legos that are brand new, right, complete, it still has that tape seal on it, and it's like 3, 4, 5 years old, and if that thing's retired, I mean, you're looking at like big profits right there. So
and you can hold till Q4 and get like probably 50% more.
Exactly. Next on deck is a lot of 24. I know Vinny likes these. I think you actually have one with you right now. It's a lot of 24 Hot Wheels, but they're not just any Hot Wheels. Talk about these.
These are Hot Wheels red lines, and the reason that they're called red lines is because on the tire there's a red ring that goes around them, and Hot Wheels are made by Mattel, and when they first came out with these were the first models had this red ring around them, as you can see right there. So if you're looking at older Hot Wheels, you want to try to find the ones with the red circle on them. Those are the red lines. I have one right here.
And what are your thoughts on conditions of these things? Like, what are people collecting? What are they looking for?
So, for example, this one, if you can see, is got paint dings and scuffs, and the tires a little bit worn out. I'm only asking $20 for this one because of that. But if it was in mint condition, we're talking 60, 70 just for this one car, you know?
Imagine collecting those back in the day in brand new shape, what those things would be worth now.
Yeah, no, see, he doesn't have some, he just has some red lines. Because if that was all red lines, that would have probably been $3,000.
So that's a little misleading, actually. And that's another good tip for when you're creating your eBay listings is be very careful with the keywords that you use in your title, because how many times have we, put out a misleading title like accidentally, and then you get that refund? And
if I was this guy, I would have split it up. Because if I only want red lines, why am I going to buy the other car? Who says I want that one and that one? Those are from the 80s. I've recognized a couple of those from the 80s.
Look at this. What are your thoughts on when a seller says, seller does not accept returns?
Does not accept returns.
If they want to get their money back, they're going to get their money back.
Oh, yeah. You should always accept returns. There's no argument to the other side.
All right. Next on deck is Masters of the Universe. Have you ever come across Masters of the Universe?
I came across a couple of them.
This is rare.
This one is super rare.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've come across a couple of them. I actually came across a bag one time. I got super lucky, but they were all broken. But I was still able to sell them for parts for like $50, $60. I sold them for parts.
And these are from what years?
These are the 80s. Huge cult following. People are obsessed with collecting these toys. If you find the right ones with complete and everything, like you're looking at hundreds to thousands.
They sold for $350, I believe.
Look at his face. Imagine that face was mint.
He looks like he's been in a street fight.
Yeah, right. If his face was mint, think about how much that could have went for, His body's mint.
So what do you type in? You could type in what? Masters of the
Universe. Action figures, I would type, because there could be all kind of merchandise.
Action figures.
Just put vintage, too. Throw in a vintage in there.
And what you can do is you can actually go in under, this is what I like to do. I like to go under sold. Where's the sold listings at? They moved them. Sold listings. And what you can do is you can go highest first.
Oh man, that's a whole playset.
Imagine finding this at a garage sale, Vinny.
A mega lot.
That's crazy. So definitely be on the lookout for, oh my gosh, that is absolutely, we got to keep moving. We got to keep this video going, but be on the lookout for that. Next up, we got some Calico Critters. And you said that these were rare.
Now, most people aren't going to know about these specific toys right here. They're fairly new. Within the last couple of years, they are Calico Critters made by Epoch. It's EPOCH. It's in my guides if you want to know more. But these frogs are not made a lot. They didn't make a lot of the frogs, so the frogs are pretty expensive. They have like bunnies and dogs and cats and rabbits and all kind of different animals, but the frogs are a little rare. And there are other rare ones too. Like there's a squirrel family, I think that's rare. They're cute. I mean, I know a lot of kids who love this stuff.
Yeah, there's all different types of them.
Yeah, the furniture does well. The houses do well, as you can see.
But there's that listing right
The
there.
frog. Look at that little babies. $20 for the babies. So be on the lookout for these things. I mean, there's still like I've sold that house before. I've sold a huge lot before. You know.
Interesting. Next up is an item that we actually weren't familiar with at all. And this caught my attention because it was a creepy little thing that sold for $126.48. So
It's weird.
you've never heard of this before.
No, I don't know. It's some special plush toy. I don't know.
Let us know in the comments if you've ever heard of this before. Maury Shack?
I think it's a GP Gloomy. They're called GP Gloomy. Checks, GP Maury Checks, GP Gloomy. He must be an artist or something.
And this is what we do. You know, if you find something interesting in the sold listings, and you could also, you know, you can go highest first. You can go in and you can start to see which things are rare. It looks like these little guys with the claws on them. I don't know if they all have the claws, but 300,
The
100.
pink one.
Yeah, it's the, look at this one,
White
125. So, wow, some of these things are creepy. I mean, imagine waking up in the middle of the night and this thing was crawling on you. So yeah, very interesting right there. Next up, this sold for, well, it sold for under $250. It took a best offer. You were saying before that some of these specific items right here, what makes this rare?
Well, that's a Jurassic World battle damaged Spinosaurus, and the battle damage. I think the size and the model makes it rare. Like I say, when they don't make as many of one toy, it tends to go up in value, harder to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, look out for the Jurassic World battle damaged ones. The bigger the better, because those are usually all go for a lot of money on the secondary market.
So people are really looking out for the battle damage. That's the...
Yeah, that's because it actually, a lot of them have sounds and motions, and you can open up, as you can see, you can open up the chest cavity to reveal battle damage. So it's a little bit
Interesting.
extra.
And this guy doesn't accept returns either. I wonder if this is hurting some of these sellers right here.
Probably.
We're gonna do a video about this next. And last but not least, the 10th item that sold for over $100 on eBay was a vintage
Ninja Turtle Krang action figure.
$128.50. What in the world is going on with this? And how can people identify these items?
That guy is rare, and I know a lot of people don't have this is a casing, like you can open his stomach and pull that thing out, and I think a lot of people don't have that guy. I've actually sold that little guy in there. You see that pink thing?
Yeah.
I forget what the name was. I've sold that for $25.
Are you serious?
Yes.
The little baby octopus looking thing?
Yeah, it's some brain or something.
Look at that, 1991.
He sold for that much because he is complete.
Yeah.
I mean, see how it opens?
Wow.
Usually that breaks off and this comes out and people don't have it. So because that toy becomes that much more valuable.
That's crazy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video where we just went through and talked about some various items that sold on eBay. We are going to be going through Vinny's eBay store and picking out some of his best sales as well. So if you want to learn more about selling toys, definitely check out the videos on my channel. Also, we've got 4 guides that we've created before, sharing hundreds of various items, and we really dive deep. You know, like in this video, we talk about it for like a minute or so, but in the actual guides, guides. We dive super deep into, what to look out for, the accessories, the descriptions, the notes, the sell-through ranges, the sell-through rates, all different types of items. So check the links down below in the description. We'll throw in a 25% off coupon. And with that being said, any final words for this video?
I would just like to tell people, if you can see some of the examples that we went through, condition is key. Like when you have something in a old, especially, that's in a great condition, that's where you see your higher price points. I mean, so look out for the condition. You may find what you think is a $100 item, but if it's not in perfect condition, that may be why you're not going to get that. So condition is important with these older stuff and some of these higher end items. And
that's why it's so important to look these things up at garage sales and thrift stores, because we've proven it here. We're not telling you you're going to go out and find these items, but you could, and it proves that just one of these little crazy little items, these little furry freaks that we saw with the claws, $150. This thing,
and there's
$128.
Thousands of toys that sell for over $100.
Thousands. So we're gonna shoot more videos about it. If you guys enjoyed it, let us know. Leave a comment below. Anything that you can teach us about some of these items that we learned about, we're always open to that. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.